Good to see everyone. I know you came here to take away content and not to hear my biography. So I want to give you something worth your time. I never want to leave people knowing more about me than you know about the content. So that's our focus, customer satisfaction. When we begin to speak about customer satisfaction or discuss it, we've got to start at this place where we define it. And as long as I've been working in customer sat, I've never met with an owner that thought they didn't have it. When you ask, how are we doing in customer satisfaction? Are you doing a good job? Do you think you're hitting on all cylinders? What I'm going to hear every time is, oh, that's not a problem here. We don't have any problems at all with customer satisfaction. How do you feel about that as a customer, as a consumer? What is your experience with how many times out of the last 10 shopping experiences were you happy? Just out of the last 10, think of the last few things you bought. Did everything go well? Customer satisfaction, when you hear it, it's almost just the label is boring because everyone thinks they do it and it doesn't take that much effort. It's not that big of a thing. What I'm going to tell you is it's a great big thing because everybody thinks they're doing it and so few are doing it the way that we know it ought to be done. Customer satisfaction is beyond 100%. Putting labels up, putting signs in your building, putting on your receipt saying customer satisfaction guaranteed. Does anybody in here believe that? Do any of you believe that customer satisfaction is guaranteed? How many of you have tried to give something back when you weren't satisfied? That if you weren't dissatisfied, you're going now. When you're trying to give something back, think about it. Just in the way that I'm going to use the language, and it's just a phrase, customer recovery. That when something isn't going well, we train folks to really do a good job of recovering that customer. What I see more is what was bad has just been made worse. It was already bad, and the way you treated me is even worse. Normally, it's because satisfaction gets pushed down way low in the organization. We expect entry-level employees to manage McDonald's. Imagine McDonald's. I spent a lot of my life with them. My very first national research client was McDonald's. I did customer satisfaction research for McDonald's in every market in the United States, every single store, for about 7 years. So I've learned a lot of research about how people can report back to you whether or not you're satisfied. What am I doing wrong? Kicking back? Too loud or too soft? I can just get into the mic. Or not. I don't know where I was. Yeah, I'm teaching. That's all. I'm teaching on customer sat. I thought it was marketing. We're doing customer satisfaction research to find out what people are thinking. Store owners, I could predict it. I'd ask them, what do you think? That's too hot. Sir, it's too hot. How do you think customers are responding? How do you think they're going to do on this survey? What do you think their scores are going to be? And I'd have cheeseburger bets with them. You know, that I'd say higher or lower. Here's the number you pick. Do you think it's going to go higher or lower? And I won every bet. That's why I look like I look. I eat a lot of cheeseburgers. It's so easy because it's always worse. Customers don't always tell owners and managers what they need, they don't want to hurt their feelings. They don't want to, it's not my job to tell you how bad you are. You figure it out. You know, I spent my money. I didn't get the cheeseburger I ordered. I got a fish burger. And it's not my job to spend all this time telling you about it. So in doing that research, I learned some things. And we can get there together very quickly. And I forgot to ask you what time that may be finished.
150.
150, easily. So as we go down these steps together, every one of you are working in the customer. This is what we all have in common. When you graduate, when you're finished, or as you go back to work, we all have the same thing in common. We have to satisfy the customer. Do we all agree with that? Does anyone think that customer satisfaction is optional? Come on, be honest with me. Do you think it's optional? Do you think wowing a customer is optional? So do you agree then that everybody thinks that they're probably doing it? That I'm probably doing okay. We talk to the average salon owner, they probably think they're doing okay. The average garage owner thinks they're doing, oh yeah, we're okay. We're satisfying the customer. How do you know that? Well, they're coming back. I think they're doing okay. And again, it's that gut feeling that they have that's wrong. Their gut has been misinformed. How many of you have heard managers and owners just say, I just got a gut feeling about this thing? You know, there's this thing called fact-based decision making that's a lot better than my gut, and I've got a well-developed gut. But my facts are so much more important to me than my gut feeling in how I respond to customers. And I need them to tell me. I need feedback. I need to know what's going on in order to get it. So the first takeaway, just a real simple takeaway, is make sure you have facts about whether or not satisfaction is occurring. Now, obviously, before we get there, we've got to do a really good job of defining what it is. Let's stay with McDonald's. I think everybody's had a fast food experience. And insert your own. It could be Burger King or Wendy's or whatever your favorite is. The inside of that company, what do you think they work on when they go to meetings and they try to tell their employees, satisfy the customer, satisfy the customer? What do you think they preach? What do you think the top 3 or 4 factors are to satisfaction? Let's see if we can get them from the group, just real quick. Bang, bang. Who's first? Timing, in other words, speed of service. Okay, I totally agree with you. Quality. What's quality? Wait a minute, we're going to have fun with this. Who said quality first? You're usually big. I'm not messing with you. Yes, ma'am. Okay, hold on a second. Quality is not messy?
Yeah, like not
Okay.
messy inside the wrapper, everything.
All right, come on, work with me here. Does anybody go to McDonald's thinking they're going to get a quality burger? It just doesn't go together. Quality McDonald's. So you're not, and we found this out. Research showed it. Quality and McDonald's are not 2 words used in the same sentence.
Consistency.
Except maybe with a french fry. Most everybody thinks that their french fries are the best in the industry. And I think they still own that. So let's go on from there. Quality is what? Okay, you get what you pay for. You want something else there. Accuracy? Wouldn't that be a nice present? You know what McDonald's learned? And I was a part of this research. It was crazy. Got me a lawn chair and a great big old straw hat, and I sat out on the side of drive-thrus and I watched cars go by. Here's what I learned. You think McDonald's only has 2 windows? No, they got 3. Because after you get your bag of food, you're going to stop the 3rd time, look in the bag to see if you got what you ordered. And that was a great takeaway. We learned so much from that. That obviously there was no trust between the company and the consumer. No trust. Because I've got to stop again and check my bag. Now, McDonald's didn't necessarily deserve it, but the industry taught us the bag's not what you think it is. Whatever you ordered was just a suggestion. They threw in there whatever they felt. Agreed? So what we have to work on is making all of our customers believe that we have order accuracy. So what do you say? 100% order accuracy guaranteed? No. You know what they find out? Is people won't park their car, get out, go back in and fix it. If you order, don't ever do this, because I do it. Back in the day when I ate burgers, I don't order, like I used to order with no cheese, and it's painful, because it never happens. You know, they don't hear the language. It comes off of that, this is how we do it here, this is how we make cheeseburgers, and hamburgers, and fish burgers. We put cheese on it. Cheese goes on everything. Don't try to get it off. And so those things frustrate us, and when we cross over from one brand to the next, we bring our baggage from the bad brand to the good brand who maybe is delivering better. We think, McDonald's back in the day when I was hanging around and working with them a lot, we thought we had a 90% order accuracy rate. 96%, sorry. The number was 96%. That's a fact. What it is today, don't know, but it's probably better. We ran a campaign, we ran a marketing campaign that said double check. You may have seen it. Our agency did it. It's one of the things that we did that went nationwide. We thought we put a sticker on the bag, fold the bag over, and use the sticker to fold it, and it said double check. That 2 people have checked this bag. So what happens now? People stop it again at the 3rd window, go back in and say, I want to see those 2 people who said I had cheeseburger fries and a Diet Coke, because this doesn't even look close. So now not only were we not doing the order, but we looked kind of dumb. Because we had double checked it wrong. Think about it. So even saying it doesn't deliver it. So would you give me this? That part of the order accuracy issue, part of doing what we say we're going to do in order accuracy, doing what people have asked for, is probably the element that's going to make you or break you in terms of customer satisfaction. That's just a big one. Let me give you one other one you wouldn't know, and I'm going to go on. The key to McDonald's success has always been clean restrooms. When kids see it, McDonald's, Happy Meal, driving down the road, they see the artist, Happy Meal, stop. Mom says, okay, the restrooms are clean. Mothers determine where they're going to take their kids based on the cleanliness of the restroom. We learned at McDonald's that if they believe that if the restroom is dirty, the restaurant's dirty. If the restroom is dirty, the kitchen's dirty. Pretty much everybody would agree with that, right? It doesn't necessarily mean that because restrooms get used a lot. You know, in a fast food restaurant where they're doing $1,000 orders and the average ticket's around $4, that's a lot of people. And that's a lot of restroom use, and it can go bad real quick. You thought you had a good restroom, and in about a minute it's gone, as far as cleanliness. So if you put those two concepts together and think about how hard that might be to execute, but McDonald's executes it. They have a person on duty from 11 to 1 that doesn't leave the restroom. You know, they may go back to the kitchen and sweep a little bit for a minute, but they're going right back to the restroom. And that's how they did it. They just threw more labor at it. And if you understand a business model, throwing more labor means you throw more money at it. And that usually can get you the results you want, not always. All right, so imagine collecting that data from across the country and having facts tell owners, this is how your customers are rating you. You may think this with your gut, but they told us this, and here's what you've got to deal with. All right, so in order to achieve customer satisfaction, we've got to know what the satisfying criteria are. It's going to be price and quality and cleanliness and speed for all of us. Really, what else is it? You know, for every industry represented here today, do we do what we said we're going to do? Do we charge what we said we're going to charge? Did we get it done in the time we said it would? Do I feel better than, did I get my need met? Did you meet my expectations? Start there. What are the expectations of people that walk in the door? That's satisfaction. But that's not what I came to talk to you about. That satisfaction, getting those things done, we can get there. We can get there by spending more money, by being more inspection oriented, making sure that we deliver. There's a lot of things that can happen. By design, we can make it happen. But that doesn't necessarily mean we're satisfied. The primary thing in most of my research, say up until about 2-3 years ago, for the last 10 before that, was in the area of what causes dissatisfaction. I want to make a statement to you, and I think this is what was worth coming to hear today. Not for me, but this fact, this concept, that no matter how whoopie-dooed I am, this was such a great experience. I loved every minute of it. If anything goes wrong, if something goes wrong, what do you think people go out talking about? The 9 things that went right or the 1 thing that went wrong? You know. And if 10 things go right, maybe nobody even hears about it. But let one little thing go wrong, the whole neighborhood hears about it. And now, Twitter, Facebook, and all. Everybody hears about it. And how many times now are you aware of people that get on Facebook and rant? How dangerous is that to a brand? How many of those do you read in a day? You know, a few. I know an owner of an ad agency that every time she has a bad experience, she gets on Facebook and totally throws it all up. Tells everybody how bad it was. Point, thinking that that's making her more valuable to her clients. All it's doing is making everybody mad, right? But everybody uses social media, consumers do, as this little weapon to beat you up with. Now, if I'm an owner, I'm probably okay with it. It's like a review site. You want to go to Yelp and Yelp at me? Okay. It'll help me get better. I feel that way about it. It's good. The essence of what I want you to take away with as you run your businesses, as you go to work for other folks, as you do what you do, this is why you're here. First, measure the dissatisfiers. Know what those things are first. So let's try to run through that quick. Just think about it in your life, in your line of business, and let's deal with it. Let's stay in fast food. I could take any industry and say, these are the things that make people mad. What do you think's at the top of the list? Let's see if we can get to the list. What makes people mad? Or dissatisfied? Let's be a little nicer.
Not being on time.
All right, not being on time. Paying attention. I saw a hand in the back. Sir? Anybody? No.
Dishonesty.
That's a top one. That's a big one. Disrespect. Oh, don't you hate that? Someone gives you one of those attitudes at the register. Talk to the hand. Something like this. That's the one. You've got it. The one that is the number one cause for dissatisfaction that leads you to your Facebook to gripe is not being treated with the attitude of an employee. Attitudes first. And, boy, that's good. I want to call you in for counseling about your attitude. That's going to go real well. You know, those are the ones that I don't like the most. This attitude is that thing that an owner wants to have happen. I call these points, they're called flash points, and that's just a marketing word for any place that a business comes into contact with a consumer. So it can be the telephone, it can be the cash register, it can be the warehouse, it can be the delivery truck. Anybody that touches my customer, are you with me? Anybody that touches the customer can create dissatisfaction with attitude. Even if they put the couch where the couch goes, and they do everything right, but they got the toot on their face. They got this, I don't want to be here feeling about it. If you don't want to be here, I don't want to be here. Right? You with me? Don't you hate it when you see that? It's the attitude that I don't care, do what you want, I don't really want to get engaged with you. I don't want to be involved with you. I don't want that Facebook moment we're in a relationship. And yet, every owner, every one of us begged to be in that relationship. Yes? That's why we wake up in the morning. We wake up, we go to work, we do what we do to form connections, to form a relationship with a customer. Can I get an amen? Does anybody, do you believe that? Everything that you all do for a living is relationship based. You're all going to contact customers a lot. Agreed? None of us are going to hide behind a wall. I had a young person that over a couple of years ago, literally tell me, I'm looking for a job in which I don't have to deal with people. The next spaceship launches in about 30 days. We'll get you on that one and take you to the moon because there's no people there that we know of. Maybe there's a few people there. But agree with that? If you don't want to be in a relationship, I don't know about that job. Even geeks like me. When you sit behind a computer, there's going to be somebody else sitting behind a computer that you're going to need to talk to. And be able to write well and speak with them in a nice way, and encourage you, give words of life, all that stuff. Yes? So when do you ever get excused from having a relationship? From being nice. And that's really what it comes down to. I did some real sophisticated PhD training. I worked all my life to get a doctorate. So I could go into a room this size, filled with McDonald's folks, and just say, be nice. Would you just be nice? And it's amazing how much better things got the next day. Just take a nice pill and go to work. How about that? It's not complicated. And yet, we complicate it as workers, as owners, as managers. We complicate it by 17 steps, and Jiffy Lube had that. I think it was the 17-point checklist. We checked all 17 things. Happy for you. Glad you checked all things. You left number 18 off. Be nice. You know, we did a good thing at Jiffy Lube, and this is customer satisfaction. I watched enough to know the ladies didn't realize, this is back in the first rollout. I was around at store number 1 with Jiffy Lube. I was around and I watched women walk in. Fact-based decision making. I watched how women were responding to the oil change experience. We'll do it for you. They were scared, first of all, to go in alone. They were afraid of the cat calls. Woo-hoo! You know, I don't know how you do it, but you got the idea of what I'm talking about. They don't like it. Do you like it, ladies? You know, you don't like it like at home, let alone do you like it when you're getting your oil change. You don't like it a bit. And if you feel uncomfortable, that's part one. The second thing that went against us is it was a little greasy. They were sitting in chairs that were not so they didn't sit. And so they stood for the 20 minutes on a good day, the 20 minutes that it took to create satisfaction. So they got their oil changed. Yay, I got everything I paid for, quality. Even put the oil pan screw back on. Is that what you call it? You all got it put back on really good, and the oil lights off, everything's fine. I'm still giving you a low score. I don't know why, but it had something to do with the whistles. You know, or how you made me feel. So we tried to fix that by creating a ladies' day. I made a little tea set. Now don't be offended by it, ladies, but it worked. We put carpet down in one little corner. Guys over here, girls over here. No guys over here. Create a nice room, put down carpet, put some tea over there, ladies' home journal, make it pretty. And then, oh, by the way, we had nail tech working. On Ladies' Day, we had a nail. So 2 errands for the price of 1. We included nail tech. We had to communicate with women. Guess what happened in our satisfaction scores? The oil was still the oil. The product was still the product. And see, that's what owners miss it. Yes, you're giving the product. You're doing the deal. You did what you said you'd do. Unfortunately, there was some other things that went along in the entire customer experience that you missed, that you weren't getting. And that's called a dissatisfier. So let me say this to you. If you're dissatisfied, if you have a customer that's dissatisfied, it really doesn't matter too much how much you satisfy them with your core delivery. You can do an excellent, a superior job in core delivery and mess it up over here in something else that goes on in that relationship. A relationship is all inclusive. It's the phone, it's the back room, it's your restrooms, it's the smile, it's the genuine smile. You know, it's why we interviewed so hard. We had a screening interview, and we just tried to make them smile. And I figured if I couldn't make an interview, you know what I'm talking about. If I couldn't make someone smile, I didn't want them to work for us. You know, because if you're not smiling in an interview, when somebody gets mad and walks up to the counter and is giving you what for and why because, you're probably not going to be smiling either. Do you agree with that? If you can't smile here, you're not going to smile there. Well, this isn't the real me. I'll smile at the counter. No, you won't. I'm pretty sure of that. Because you're trying to get a job here and you're not smiling. So how hard is that? What have you observed? It's really hard. My observation is it's really hard to get someone to smile. Unless you go to Clary Salon. My favorite salon in the whole wide world. They smile at me. And they tell me to come back and they make me feel great about myself. And that's a lot. That's a lot of work. I'm a hard customer. They hate seeing me walk in the front door, don't they? But, and I'm being silly, but not very much. Because every one of us that go into a place want to feel important, want to feel like we're the only customer. You know, I'm really glad you're having a busy day. Yay for you. I want to get my hair done. That's all I care about. I'm in a hurry. I got to go to graduation. I was saying last night I was being stupid. I said, I want to get my hair did. That's all the only reason I'm here. And I'm not looking to see if the floors are clean, the bathrooms done. I'm not looking. Just cut my hair and let me out of here. And other times, let's talk, let's chat, let's just really have a good time. And good customer service, connection, relationship. Do you know in a relationship, you know when you're disconnected? You know when something's not right? You just have that disconnect. Yes? That's what you know when you work on it. You try to, you know, there's times when somebody wants to talk, sometimes when people don't. It all boils down to this. It boils down to being sensitive and kind and considerate, just being nice. What does nice mean today? So what I want you to work on, from now for the rest of your career, as long as you work, be sensitive to a dissatisfier. That's a great takeaway lesson. Be sensitive. It's usually not obvious. It's not just right for you. Yes, get hot food hot, cold food cold. Give their money back. You know, do a good job of doing it. Keep your restrooms clean. Do the basics. You'll never get to wow. You'll never get to that great checkbox experience if you've got a dissatisfier. It will not happen. Listen to me. If one dissatisfier is present, you will not have customer satisfaction. We've got to, what I train managers to do, store managers, I train them all over the country in various brands and various products I work in. If any kind of dissatisfaction is present, you're going to get a bad score. It's going to drive your satisfaction score down. That's it. It's not hard, but it's excruciatingly difficult to remove dissatisfiers. Why? Because you've got people at the front line doing what people do. Being grumpy, being sad. I don't want to go to work today. I bring my work problems, my home problems to work, and my work problems to home. And they're just not happy people. And so how can they deliver a great experience? Let me give you one other thought and we'll close. I'll take a lot of questions from you, however much time we have. One of the keys I developed over the years was before I did a customer satisfaction survey, is I did an employee satisfaction survey. Do you understand that one? That if employees aren't happy, do you think customers are? You know it. If employees are unhappy, it passes right down the line, really quick. So we've got to make sure we have, because you're going to own businesses, right? I speak that over you, that you're going to own your own business and you're going to have authority and control over your outcomes by operating your own salons or your own stores, whatever it is you want in life. Whatever that is, you're going to depend on other people to do something for you. And to do that, we work as hard. We have two customers, an internal and an external customer, employees and our customers. So in both cases, If dissatisfiers are present, it's near about, I don't like to be too dogmatic, but this is something I'm dogmatic about. If dissatisfiers are present, I want to tell you, you're not going to get satisfaction. Not with employees or not with customers. There's so much research done on it. The only difference is we haven't modernized it to a point where we apply it great to workers. All the way back to Frederick Taylor, we did in Hertzberg. Hertzberg did a lot of studies, old guys. I think they're meant to be dead guys. They might be way gone. That's how old I am. They were young when I was studying them. Think about it. A dissatisfier of an employee, you can't give them a raise to make them happy. Dissatisfiers present with a worker, you just got a problem. You got to get satisfaction. So let's apply that thinking to the customer. Do everything you can to do the basics and to do them well. You didn't need me to come in here and tell you what the basics are. We know what customer satisfaction is. Do what you said you did. Smile, deliver, give the right money back, do what you said to do, charge right for it, and everything will work out. Not so much. Not if there's a dissatisfier present. Take that away. Dissatisfiers eliminate satisfaction on the spot. God bless you all. Let's take some questions.